God is bestowing this energy to everyone. Now we souls have the freedom to utilize it the way we like. In accordance with that, we commit sin or do good deeds or engage in devotion or do nothing. God is not making us do this. He is providing the energy and giving us the free will to act as we wish. That is the secret behind this creation. Yan manusana manute yenahur manomatam tadeva brahmatvam vidhi nedam yadidam upasate yat chakshusha pashyati yena chakshugvamshi pashyati tadeva brahmatvam vidhi nedam yadidam upasate yat shrotrena nashrunoti yena shrotramidaggvam shrutam tadeva brahmatvam vidhi nedam yadidam upasate. This is the Kena Upanishad of the Samaveda. It states, these eyes are able to see because God grants them the power to see. The ears are able to hear by the power they receive from God. The mind executes the faculty of thinking, not by its own energy, but because it is connected to the energy source which is God.
Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 5. Verse chanting is followed by translation and commentary by Swami Mukundananda.
नादत्ते कस्यचित् पापं न चैव सुकृतं विभुः अज्ञानेनावृतं ज्ञानं तेन मुह्यन्ति जन्तवः.
The omnipresent God does not involve himself in the sinful or virtuous deeds of anyone. The living entities are deluded because their inner knowledge is covered by ignorance. So an important takeaway from this verse is that we, wherever we find ourselves in life today, we are responsible for it. There is nothing to be gained by playing the blame game. We people find this a nice alibi. Why are you so unhappy? Swamiji, this happened to me in my life. So, this unhappiness happened to me. I am not responsible. You ask somebody else, why do you behave like this? Swamiji, that is how I am. I mean, somebody made me like that. I don't know, but that's how I am. People are not willing to take responsibility for themselves. In the corporate world, there's so much of office politics. They blame, this guy, he buttered up the boss and that is why he went up. They don't see that he was working day and night. He played politics and that is why he went up. I don't know how to play politics, that's why I am where I am. It's a very common statement people make, right? So in one office where so much of this kind of negative talk had been going on, finally the management said, all right, we will put an end to it. So the news was sent by the organization's email that the biggest enemy in your progress in your career has passed away. Your path is now clear. Come and visit his funeral and take a look at that enemy and bid him farewell. So they were all thrilled, but each of them was wondering, who is this enemy of mine who has passed away? So they were thinking, is it Ram, is it Sham, it is Meena, is it Beena, it is Neena, They all reached there. So the boss had arranged for them to file up in a line and come. Now the grave had been dug and there was the coffin there. You could go and have the last darshan. One guy came there and he saw his own face because a mirror had been placed there. And the title, The Biggest Enemy of Your Career. Take a look at him. So each person realized that I myself am sabotaging my progress, or I can build upon it. So it is always very nice and very satisfying to the ego to say that where I am, it is destiny which is responsible. Bhagavan hai, Kalyug hai, the Republicans, the Democrats. But Sri Krishna says, look, if you want to actually progress in life, you have to start off by stopping to blame God. Now don't say Bhagavan ka dosh hai, and don't blame destiny, because you made your own destiny. Don't blame time. You take responsibility. Wherever I am responsible for it. And then you will also take responsibility for your happiness. One husband and wife, they were newly married. And they went around to the relatives, this 1 month to the wife's relatives and 1 month to the husband's relatives. And they were with the husband's closest relatives, chachas, tayas, etc. And those chacha, taya, they used to dote upon their little bhatija. And now the bhatija is married, so they were so happy that he's got a daughter-in-law. And they said, Beti, does your husband make you happy? So the husband thought, I'm sure she's going to say yes, newly married. So definitely makes me happy. So she said, no. The husband was taken aback. He did not expect that. They just had such a wonderful honeymoon and he doesn't make me happy. So Tayaji said, Beti, he doesn't make you happy? She said, no, but he doesn't make me sad either. My happiness is dependent on me and not upon him. Because if he makes me happy, then he can also make me sad. See, that is the key is outside then. Now, self-improvement begins when you reclaim your mind. I am responsible for choosing my thoughts. People can create positive, negative circumstances. That drama of the world will go on. But in the midst of that, I have to decide. So the lady said, I choose my own happiness. That is why the saying that when life gives you a lime, you decide whether you want to become sour or make a lemonade. Some people, their happiness depends on the weather. Other people carry their weather with them. So, when you decide that you alone are responsible for your life, then the focus changes from the victim mentality to desire for self-growth and self-improvement. So, from God's side, He says that, look, you want my grace? Yes, Bhagavan. All right, I have a rule for my grace. You surrender, I'll bestow my grace. This is the rule of God and Guru. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tans tathaiva bhajamyaham. As you surrender, I will bestow grace. So how much grace do you want, O soul? Bhagavan, I want this much. Do this much of surrender. No, I want this much of grace. Then do this much of surrender. No, I want this much of grace. Then do this much of surrender. No, I want this much grace, but I'll surrender this much. Bhagavan says, Chori kare nihaya ki, kare sui ka dana. Upar chadhi chadhi dekhta ketik dur viman. That vehicle from Golok has not come. I donated one needle. So Bhagavan says, look, as you surrender, to the same extent, the grace that comes. Keeping in this mind, always remember the grace of God. Although it comes from Him, because it is dependent on His rules, it is in our hands. Because He's made the rules. Now you choose how much grace you want. Surrender to that extent. So I am reminded of that story where one person asked God for a boon. So God said, what do you want? So Bhagavan said that, he said to Bhagavan that you will please protect me and take care of me. Bhagavan said, yes, based upon your surrender. And then the flood came to that city. The water started rising. So what to do now? They went up on the top of their roof. And some people came and said that, come on, we are vacating the town. So you also come with us. He said, no, God will take care of me. So after that, the water rose higher and higher. And they were on the roof. So some people came in a boat and said, look, the situation here is dangerous. Come sit with us. We will take you. He said, I've got a boon from God that He is taking care of me. But the water rose even higher, so they went on the tree. They swam to the tree in their courtyard because that was the highest point. And now as the last resort, God, the city was sending helicopters to the rescue. So they said, hold on to the rope. He said, no, God is taking care of me. And then finally the water rose and he died. And after death, he came before God. You had said you will take care of me. What happened? God said, who do you think sent the boatman? Who do you think sent the helicopter? But if you say God will take care of me, so I need to do nothing, Ram bharose khaye ki rahe khaat pe soye, that's not going to work. He will give you the energy. To utilize it is the main thing. He is the prayojak karta. You are the prayojya karta. He is the supplier of the energy. You are the utilizer. And that utilization is the main thing.